Good morning, dear students. So, today we are starting a new topic from our part 2, mathematics part 2, that is chapter number 7, integrals. What is integral? Let me explain to you. So, today we are going to uh, study integrals. What is integral? Let me explain you which one example. Okay, dear students. Suppose you have a function f of x that is equal to x cube. So this is f of x equal to x cube. This is the function. Now if we take its derivative, that is d by dx of f of x, we get what? 3x square. Now look at their graphs, dear students. Look at their graphs. So the graphs will be like this. Suppose this is y-axis, this is x-axis. I draw the graph of the given function f of x is equal to x cube. So its graph is what? It is a in first quadrant it goes this way, it increases, and in second quadrant it goes, as it goes towards negative side, it goes downward, no? Towards negative infinity, and in the first quadrant it goes towards positive infinity. Okay, dear students? So exactly if you draw the graph, it will be something just like this. Just let me show you. So since exact graph is not actually possible, no, but we can give you the idea of the function, graph of the function. That is, this is f of x equal to, this is the graph of f of x equal to x cube. No? Now dear students, if we see here 3x square also is a function. Let us say it is g of x. So this function is g of x, 3x square, whose graph will be something just like this. Just you see its graph. If you see the graph of this function, it will go this way. It will go this way. This way. So this is graph of the function g of x. G of x is 3x square. So dear students, just think a situation here. Suppose this function is given to us. Can we know this function? If there is a process to know, that means we have actually here, when we took the derivative of the function means f of x, actually we converted into a new function. It converted into a new function. It got converted into a new function, that is g of x. So that means in this when we took the derivative of this function, we converted actually this function into a new function. No, not converted, we did not convert the function, but it got transformed into a new form. So this new function, we got a new function from this given function. If this function is given to us, can we get back this function? If there is a procedure from the derivative of a function, if we know the primitive of the function, which primitive means, I am saying, you see, just like this. Suppose this is a piece of ice. You convert it into, say, water. Okay? It's converted into water. Then from water to the ice, can you get back from water to the ice? Can you get back this? If we can get back, yes, we can get back. If we get back, that means we are finding the primitive of this water. This is water, and this is ice. As ice can get converted into water, water also can be again reshaped into ice. But I am not saying that you are actually both are not equal here in this case, that f of x is not equal to g of x, but d dx of f of x means d by dx of f of x is equal to g of x. That means g of x, if it is known to us, then if there is a procedure to know this function, then that procedure will be called what? Integration. And this this g of x is derivative. When from the derivative we will know the original function, then that function will be called the indefinite integral or integral. Means I am explaining to you like this. You see, x cube's derivative is this one, x cube's derivative is this one, then its integral is this one. The derivative of x cube is 3x square and integral of 3x square is x cube. That means if we integrate means if we try to know its primitive, that means it came from where, means x cube was originally, then after taking its derivative it has given us 3x square. That means we can say it is the primitive. So of what? 3x square. So the primitive of 3x square is x cube. Okay dear students, so the process by which we can find it out, that will be called the integration process. Integration is what? The process. There is a process to know from this 3x squared is x cube. Thus you see here dear students, one list I am giving you to try to understand. Here you see, here also in the graph you see, this is graph of what? X cube. This is graph of what? 3x square. That means if we know 3x square and we don't know what is this, no? This function we don't know, whose 3x square is the derivative. Whose 3x square is the derivative? We don't know that function. But if we can find out by some method, that method will be called integration. Okay dear students, to make it more clear, I am giving you some examples. As you see, here, f of x is x cube and g of x is, which is derivative of f of x. So that is 3x square. This now again it's another one I am just giving you, say x to the power 4. This will be 4x cube. So its derivative is this one. Now these two, if I take like this, suppose I know ddx of f of x, ddx of f of x, which is termed as g of x, okay, that is 3x square or 4x cube, and I want to know what was that f of x. What was that f of x? What was that f of x for this? So this f of x, for knowing this f of x, whatever you will do, that will be called integration. Okay dear students, integration is the process to convert from the derivative of a function. If the derivative of a function is given, the function is not known, but you can know by a process. That process will be called integration. That means to know integration process. After doing the integration, suppose you came to know f of x was, that means this f of x, here it is hidden because g of x is given to you. Inside this f of x is there. From there to extract the f of x, you have a process. That process is integration. Now you see, suppose you came to know that by some process it is x cube. It was x cube. So this x cube was actually, this is called also primitive or antiderivative. This is also called antiderivative. Or it is also called integral. So these are the terms that we are using. That is for primitive, antiderivative, integral. Okay, primitive, antiderivative, integral. We can use these terms for this. So dear students, we are actually, for integration there is no like that fixed formula. If you know derivative, then you will be able to say the integral also. You will be able to say, means just for example, one example I am giving you. Suppose you know when you take the derivative of x cube, you will get here 3x square. Okay, then we will say that for integration we have a sign, like for derivative you are using this symbol. For a derivative we are using this symbol. With respect to x, this is its differentiation is taken out. No? So it is differentiated with respect to x. This with respect to x, this part, which respect to x, this dx, will be taken with this. That means when we have to find out its integral, means its primitive, that means x cube will be our answer. So its primitive we have to write with this, that we are doing with respect to x. We have to write like this: 3x square, 3x square. With that you have to write, since it is with respect to x, you have to write dx. This dx will stand for this language with respect to x. And since you are doing integration, integration means you are trying to know the integral of this, then in front of this actually you have to write integration of, or integral of, like this you have to write. No, for that wording also there is a symbol, that is one elongated s. S, you know, s means sum. In mathematics generally we use s for sum, no, capital S. Maximum times we are using say as. Somewhere you have to write the sum of some numbers, so we are using it as. So that as, if it is suppose elongated, elongated means made it little long type like this, then that will be that symbol we are using. Imagine as elongated s. Okay, for this integral of, so integral of 3x square with respect to dx is what? X cube. We'll write like this, is equal to x cube. So integral is that one actually. Integral is finding the primitive of a function, which is the derivative of that primitive. So 3x square is what? Derivative. Derivative of x cube. And x cube is antiderivative or integral. Antiderivative or integral. Integral of what? Antiderivative or integral of 3x square. This 3x square is derivative of x cube, and x cube is antiderivative of 3x square. Try to understand. Yes, students. X cube is antiderivative of 3x square, and derivative of x cube is the 3x square. Got it? 3x square is derivative of, I am writing here, 3x square is derivative of x cube. Try to understand. Yes, students. Once again I am repeating all this. Let's take an example here. Say, as you know, d by dx of x to the power of n is equal to n times x to the power of n minus 1. N times x to the power of n minus 1. Now, when we want the antiderivative of x to the power of, just look at this here, dear students. This tells us that here when it is n, then here it is 1 less than that n. Okay? That means each antiderivative will have 1 more than this power. Here what is the power? N minus 1. So here the power is n. Okay? So here the power of this x is. Now d by dx of x to the power of n is n times x to the power of n minus 1. Now if we write the antiderivative of this n times x to the power of n minus 1, antiderivative actually what? Just you compare the variable here x. So when we will say antiderivative of x to the power of n minus 1, that means we will write x to the power of n. Oh, again here was n, no? If this n we take in this left hand side, or we can say like this: antiderivative of n times x to the power of n minus 1 is equal to x to the power of n. N times x to the power of n minus 1 is equal to x to the power of n. Now what is the job here? you have to compare the powers of these variables. Here x has got power n minus 1, whereas here the power is n, and here this coefficient is n, but here this coefficient is 1. That means you can think like this also, that is this antiderivative of n times x to the power of n minus 1 can also be written like this. If we take this n that side, that means because it is a constant number, n into antiderivative of, because we will find out the antiderivative of the variable, with respect to x we are doing antiderivative of x to the power of n minus 1 can be written as x to the power of n. Now this n, if we take to that side, then it will go down there as a denominator. So antiderivative of, I am writing in words, okay, later we will use symbol, antiderivative of x to the power of n minus 1 is equal to, this n goes there, that means it will come below x to the power of n. So it will come like this. Just dear students, try to understand here what is that point. Important point is, okay, if this wording is confusing you, better you write like this. This symbol you put elongated s, then you write this integrand. This is called integrand, means whose integrals you are calculating, you are finding, that is called integrand. Integrand, integrand, integrand. Okay, so the integrand is x to the power of n minus 1. With respect to what you are doing this integration? With respect to x, then you have to write dx. So this is the function whose integral we are trying to find out, that is equal to x to the power of n by m. Now dear students, you see here, what is the power here? X has got power n minus 1, whereas here n, that means here will be 1 more than here. And what is the denominator here? Same power is here denominator. So then you think, if I write the antiderivative of x to the power of n, then with respect to x, then what shall I write? Antiderivative will be x, and its power should be increased by 1, n plus 1, divided by this n. As here is n, then the same n plus 1 will be here. That is, if I write x to the power of n plus m, then dx, then it will be equal to x to the power of n plus m plus 1 divided by n plus m plus 1. So there is no fixed formula for this one antiderivative, but antiderivatives formulae you will know. If you want to form formulae, then you can form by yourself if you know the derivative of the functions. As all functions do not have their derivatives, because all functions are not differentiable, yes, you know or not. All functions are not differentiable. For example, f of x equal to modulus of x. This function is not differentiable at x equal to 0. So as this function is not differentiable, its antiderivative also you can't find out. Means antiderivative of this function also you can't find out, because it is not differentiable at all points at x, means, so like that antiderivative you can find out only when there is derivative of a function. If a function has got derivative, then that function's antiderivative can be found out, means that derivatives antiderivative can be found out. Okay, dear students, so now there is the basic formula for differentiation that we have learned so far. All those will be very much useful in this our discussion, like ddx of, suppose ddx of x, you know, that you know it is 1, then antiderivative will be, antiderivative of 1 will be what? X, because if you differentiate x you get 1. That means if you integrate 1 with respect to x, dx, if you integrate 1 with respect to x, then you should get what? X. So like that it is. Say another example I can give you, say secondly, suppose ddx of sin x is equal to, means derivative of sin x is cos x, then antiderivative means integral of cos x will be sin x. Now dear students, here if additional question arises. See, if I take the derivative of x cube, I get 3x square. If I take the derivative of x cube plus 1, then also I get 3x square. If I take the derivative of x cube plus 2, then also I get 3x square. That means, how can we say that antiderivative of 3x square, with respect to x, how can we say that it is x cube or x cube plus 1, or it is x cube plus 2? That means it can have so many antiderivative with different constants. These are constants 1, 2 or 0 here. That means every antiderivative of a function will always have a constant attached to it. So that constant is not unique. That means you will get a family of integrals. So that's why these integrals are called indefinite integrals, because you can't have a definite integral. You can't have a definite means fixed integral of a given function. Okay, you can't have a fixed primitive, because every time this constant will change. So it is, all these are called indefinite integrals. Are you understanding, dear students? All these are indefinite integrals. So now we say x cube plus 3, 0, x cube plus 1, x cube plus 2, x cube plus 3. No? All these are the integrals of 3x square. So then that means we will get a family of curves. Just think here. See, suppose here you have, this is the graph of 3x square. Graph of 3x square is this one. Yeah? Graph of 3x square. That means there can be integral 3x squares, integral is x cube plus 0 or x cube plus 1. So that means it can be x cube plus 1. So the graph may go like this also. X cube plus 1 will go this way. This way, or x cube plus 2 this way. You will get x cube plus 3 this way. So you see, that means you will get lots of curves like this whose derivative is 3x square. This is the graph of 3x square, suppose. All these curves have got this as antiderivative. Got the idea? So that means these are antiderivative of this one. These are antiderivative of this one. Then their antiderivative can be this one. No? Are you understanding what I am saying? Means there are derivatives. So from this, actually what you can say, antiderivatives of a function is a family of curves. So is a family of curves. You will get so many antiderivatives from the same function. Each antiderivative can be this one or this one or this one. That means they differ by these constants. So since this constant is not a addition now, we can't say what is a particular constant. So that's why we call it indefinite integrals. So every time whenever we write the antiderivative of a function, then we also need to write a constant like this. Integration of say 3x square dx is equal to, means integral of 3x square with respect to x is equal to, we can write x cube plus 1 constant. So every time you take the antiderivative of a function, don't forget to write a c like this. C will stand for constant. For each antiderivative you have to add a constant, because constant is not known which constant will come. So many constants can be there. So that means this x cube plus c represents a family of curves. It will represent a family of curves. So that is what the introduction part of integral, dear students. So if you know the formula for derivatives, you will be able to also say the what called antiderivatives. So first of all, our work is to set the given function in standard form. Standard form means the form whose you will be able to say the antiderivative, means whose derivative you know, that's antiderivative also you will be able to say. Means if you know the derivative of x to the power of n plus 1, then you will be able to say the antiderivative of the derivative. No, thus I am giving you one example. See, suppose you want what is antiderivative of cos x with respect to x. Then first of all you have to know. So we say like this: we know that the derivative of sin x is equal to cos x. Therefore, antiderivative of cos x with respect to x is equal to sin x only. And as I told you that every time you write antiderivative of a function, don't forget to add a constant there, because you will not get one particular one, then you will get many such functions, sin x plus 1, sin x plus 2, so infinite number of like that constants can be there. So you can say sin x plus any constant. So this is one example. Another example, suppose you know that derivative of, so suppose you are asked what is the antiderivative of sec square x dx. You know that, so or you'll say we know derivative of 10x is equal to sec square x. Then antiderivative will be what? Antiderivative of sec square x dx means sec square x with respect to x is equal to 10x plus a constant. You have to write a constant. Got idea? So like that. One more, just one example. Say ddx of cot x. ddx of cot x is cos x minus cos x square x. Minus cos x square x. Now, that means if we take the integration of minus cos x square x with respect to x, this dx, then we have to write it as cot x plus c. This minus can be also transferred, means from here to here you can consider, means ddx of minus cos x, cot x can be written as cos x square x. Cos x square x. Have you understood, dear students? So this is how we will proceed. So in time to time I will be reminding you about the identities, the standard forms of the derivatives and integrals, and then we will be solving the problems. So today you go through this exercise, go through this theory part, and get ready for our solving the exercise problems. Okay, so this theory must be completed, and you note down this theory also. Okay, and in the next class you will be taught how to find the integrals of given functions. Okay.